Hey Rust player and welcome. Today we are focusing on our silent guardians, the SAM sites. SAMs stand watch, always on the lookout for intruders, but they have a weakness. They can be destroyed without you knowing, unless you outsmart the raiders with a little bit of electrical genius. Imagine this, someone touches your SAM sites and boom, you get an instant notification. No more guessing games or surprises, no more wondering if someone is sneaking around your base. You'll have a real-time alerts and can respond immediately. You know exactly when and where to defend. So gear up, get your wires ready, and let's electrify the battlefield. But before we start, as always, there are many different ways to get the same result. Today I'm showing you the easiest one. For this circuit you will need an XOR switch, branches and the smart alarm. Let's start. Alright, we start by placing a branch and giving the branch 26 Rust powers. We need 26 because the SAM itself needs 25 and we need 1 into pass-through. Now go ahead and connect your branch with your SAM site. Now put up an XOR switch and find the pass-through of your SAM site. Connect the pass-through of your SAM site with input A of your XOR switch. Now as you can see, the XOR switch still lets power through. That is because we only have one input with power. To bypass this, we will need a second branch with 1 power. Give the branch 1 power and run it into input B of the XOR switch. As you can see now, as both inputs receive power, the pass-through is 0. You can now place your smart alarm, make sure you pair it with your Rust Plus application, and connect the XOR out with the input of your smart alarm. And that's already it. You can name your smart alarm, give it a different message. I usually have that in SAM destroyed, so I know exactly what happens when I get a phone notification. You can test it now by simply removing the wire of your SAM, or like I do, by just removing your SAM. You will see the pass-through with 1 and the smart alarm turned on. So what if you have more SAMs? Like we have 3 now. I would suggest to wire up every SAM like I showed you. Means every SAM gets its own branch, every SAM gets its own smart alarm. This will allow us to expand our circuit later on, which I will show you in a different video. But for now, let's keep it simple. For this to work, you will need to have 3 XOR switches, just like this, and your smart alarm down here somewhere. Alright, for this to work, you will of course need to power your 3 SAMs. They still need 26 power each. This means you will need a splitter with 78 power. I quickly go ahead and connect all the SAMs. Alright, so what we do now is basically the same as before. We take our pass-through and put it into an input of an XOR switch. So we take our first SAM and run it in input A of our first XOR switch. Take your second SAM, pass through into the next XOR switch. As you can see here, both inputs receive power, so the pass-through is 0. Now we take our last SAM, put it into the next input, and we see, oh shit, this one is not receiving power. This one is. We have an output, but we don't want an output right now. So what we could do is we could wire the two XOR switches together, but seeing that this one doesn't have an output, it thinks it only has one output and still gives power. So we bypass this by giving this empty one another branch from our power source. Just again as the single circuit, we only give it one power. Just so we have a second power income. And as you can see now, it has two power sources, meaning it turns off. Now we can connect these two with the third one, and here again you see nothing is happening. Connect the last XOR switch with your smart alarm. And now, when you destroy a SAM, you should see it turning on. There we go. Now, there's one little quirk you will need to be aware of: server restarts. When the server restarts, it can mess with your electrical flow, causing a false alarm. This is because the system momentarily loses power and comes back online, triggering alerts. Treat those initial alerts after restart as a test alarm. This means that the system is simply recalibrating and ensuring that everything is functioning as it should. Alright Rust Warriors, that's a wrap. With these tips you can ensure your base is well defended and your SAM sites are running at peak efficiency. Remember, a well defended base is a successful base. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more Rust tips and tricks. Your support helps me create more content to help you dominate Rust.